this protest rooted in problems that we have in the negotiations for a new collective agreement as the foundation of the protest. It's aggravated by problems we're experiencing with the interference of the cabinet through its interministerial team on salaries, where the definite aim is simply to depress wages without reason. It interferes with the free collective bargaining process, that is to say, the ability of the board to come to agreement on the basis of its ability to pay, its phenomenal ability to pay. Protests have been going on for a while, and the management of the organization have been quite upset over the fact that these people looking for any opportunity they could to victimize people. They just did so. And they're using as a pretext for victimization certain failures of the work process, certain disruptions in the work process recently, which really have nothing to do with workers, except the fact that they withdrew their enthusiasm a long time ago. You see, it is worker enthusiasm and commitment in this organization that has been keeping it running, making up for management failure as manifested recently to properly put in place policies and systems to make sure that the organization works properly. So they decide to scapegoat some employees and victimize them, and that really is the story behind today's protest. Indeed, to show the level of bile that is held by the management, when these people were called the suspendees, when they were called to meetings at which they were suspended, they were subjected to lectures about if they don't like the terms and conditions of the organization, that they could leave, right? They were hypocritically told about the funds of the organization existing to pay pension benefits and not workers' salaries, right? I want to know which pensioner out there right now who recently received a couple months ago got these increases, now realizing that it was a mirage, as you know, right? Which of them feel any sense of financial priority with the National Insurance Board?
Tell me something. I know you all the protest here is about that, but what exactly are you all calling for, and who is Mr. Ravi?
Ravi Ramutan is the chairman of the National Insurance Board. He works at this location, specifically in BP, right? We hold him personally responsible for the recent suspensions, and that is why we chose this as the site of protest, right? As indicating that you had the situation of the claims on the part of the management that they want to guard the funds for the sake of the insured and pensioner public. And the hypocritical nature of it, as is manifest when we look at what was the recent experience of the pensioners. The grave disappointment. Some of them could have suffered heart attack, you know. This is the same group of people who lecture and who purport to lecture to workers about these things, that right now pursuing triple-digit increases on their own behalf, right? Apparently, suddenly, the funds exist for the benefit of the insured public. This is the same group of people who, little more than a year ago, made a decision to take $675 million of that fund and sink it into the ALMCL Financial, long after it was known that that company was going into the problems that we found out that they went into. And you know what? That money went to underwrite the salaries of senior executives at CL Financial, as we saw coming out of the recent the ongoing commission of inquiry, right? Salaries of upwards of $300,000 a month, plus $1 million bonuses, plus checks of $5 million that people could afford to forget in the drawer. I don't know if you get a $5 million check, you could afford to forget it in the drawer, right? That is the same group of hypocrites that's saying to the workers that they can't pay salaries because they have to pay the pensions of the insured public. I am saying what is taking place right now in the NIB could only occur in an organization where the management feels comfortable, feels as pleased as sponge to pay a poor widow a pension of $400 a month, right? It's only that kind of mind right, in managing an organization could produce this. There's a common thread of policy that runs through provision for the old age pensioners, for the widows, and compensation to the staff, which is not the same thread of consideration and policy that informs management compensation. There's one rule for them and another rule for us as workers together with the insured public on the other. In other words, I'm saying that we the workers and the insured public have common cause in our dealings with the management. We have crossed the line by prejudicing the employment, affecting the employment of some of our employees. You hear the chants? The attitude of workers right now is that a blow to one is a blow to all. They are more outraged than they have ever been. And things are going to escalate to the point where properly we the workers can't hold ourselves responsible for the inconvenience and the disruptions that have come to follow in the next few days.
So what exactly are the workers calling for?
What are they calling for? The ending of the suspensions to these several employees, the cessation of cabinet interference in our negotiations, the payment of proper salaries, salaries that reflect the major movements in inflation, salaries that would have a salary supplement that would at least restore our minimum income to give us the purchasing power that we had at the start of the contract period. For if we fail to achieve that, we will end up poorer than we were at the start of the contract period. That would be most unjust. So whatever the difficulties of the economy, it functioned well enough to yield the kind of increases that would mean a maintenance of the real income, the purchasing power of employees. It would appear that in this country, the only people who know about the maintenance of real income are the bigwigs. That is why recently I saw a trade union leader indicating that salary increases annually for the bigwigs average 20% per year. Last year, it was published in the press that the directors at Scotiabank effected 85% increases in their own fees. Were we to dare to ask for that, there would be a hue and cry and a howl from that would be heard from here to the next side of the planet. We are asking for that. All we are asking for is the maintenance of our real income. In sum, what we are asking for in this economy, and in that regard we know we echo the rest of the working class,